big breaking news coming in right now. 4 Russian choppers have been hit by the Ukrainian forces. Now, the Ukrainian anti-aircraft gunners hit 4 helicopters of Russians. Now, this happened yesterday. Ukrainian anti-aircraft missile units, Buk-M1 and S-300, hit 4 helicopters of Russians and 1 drone outpost. This was reported by the command of the Ukraine's Air Force of the armed forces. Latest visuals that you can get on your screen here, that 4 Russian choppers have been hit by the Ukrainian Air Force. Now, what we're getting to know right now is that these were the anti-aircraft gunners that hit the 4 helicopters of Russia. The incident happened yesterday when the Ukrainian anti-aircraft missile units hit the 4 choppers of Russia as well as 1 drone. Now, we're looking at Ukraine hitting back at the Russian Air Force at this point in time. Today is day 17, and we're looking perhaps at the change of tide in a very slow way. But here, Ukraine's Buk-M1 and the S-300 hitting 4 helicopters of Russia as well as 1 drone in that area.
Now this appears to be some sort of a kind of a underground bunker that you see here. Now these are places, these are not exactly bunkers, these are more like underground storage spaces, which have now essentially been converted into more like places that one can go when there is an air raid alert that takes place. Some households have built that and they've gone into, but when you have this kind of a powerful bomb that is basically dropped in these areas, it's very difficult to come out completely unhurt.
European countries, including countries that have been rather resistant in the past to any notion that you should share that responsibility, now find themselves all of a sudden and quite unexpectedly in the situation of having to host hundreds of thousands. And what do? They ask for that international solidarity and sharing.
Foremost, the courage of the Ukrainian armed forces, the Ukrainian people and the Ukrainian leadership that has stopped and slowed down the Russian invasion, but the support that NATO allies have provided with training and equipment since 2014 has proven to be extremely important in support of those efforts.
We're also mindful that Russia's war of choice on Ukraine threatens to cause food shortages, higher food prices across Africa in the coming months. We're committed to finding ways to address these challenges together.
The senseless conflict in Ukraine is causing death and devastation to the country and its people, with enormous security risks for the region and the world. It has forced more than 1.5 million people across borders and disrupted the global economy with unforeseeable consequences. It has multiplied the danger of miscalculation and escalation. There is only one way forward: the path of dialogue and diplomacy.
The situation is awful. Russian army continues to do airstrikes, air bombing, artillery shelling, and their troops are behind the city, and in some districts of the city we have street battles. So as you understand, the humanitarian situation decreases hour by hour, second by second.